hits than a heavyweight title fight. And after 3 short rounds, there were plenty of challengers KO'd on the canvas. Round 9 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship at Mallala Raceway was a fitting title decider and one of the roughest on record. Paul Romano, Mark Larkin and Chris Smerton took some heavy body blows before a dust-up between Alan Jones and Peter Brock sparked a bruising all-in brawl that had the ref reaching for the red flag. A restart in the final round failed to curtail the carnage. A high-powered hit between Alan Jones and Craig Lowndes took out race leader Bow and left the battered championship leader with a nail-biting limp to the line. The rest is history. At just 21, Lowndes became the youngest ever Australian touring car champion and delivered Holden Racing Team its first heavyweight belt after 7 hard years in the ring. Today, the 7 Network salutes our new national champion as we welcome touring car fans to Sydney's Oran Park Raceway, traditional home of the Shell Series Grand Final. For Lowndes, a last chance to show his stunning superiority. For outgoing champion Bow, a burning desire to keep arch-rival Seaton out of second place. Clearly, the fight is far from over.
Yes, welcome to Oran Park for the Shell Series decider. The championship may already belong to Holden and young Craig Lowndes, but there is still plenty to prove here today, especially for the bruised and battered Ford Brigade. They've got a lot of work to do on the long road to Bathurst in October. And speaking of long hauls, I think 36 years in broadcasting and motorsport certainly qualifies. So congratulations to Mike Raymond on his Order of Australia medal. Well done, top man. Veterans are having a top day, in fact, because Peter Brock is on pole position here for the final round at Oran Park. Brock qualified in 1:07.94. Sharing the front row with him is Glenn Seaton, 1:07.97. Second row, Craig Lowndes and John Bower. Then Wayne Gardner and Paul Romano. Following that, Mark Scaife and Alan Jones. Then Dick Johnson and Russell Ingall. Well, Brad Jones, what do we expect to see today?
Well, with the championship decided, I think Gardner was the quickest in the warm-up. It'll be a very close race, maybe a little bit of rain and potentially a tight tussle to the end.
That's the scene as they're set to go for round 1.
A capacity crowd at Sydney's Oran Park waiting for the grand final of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship for 1996. And what a quality front row. Peter Brock on the inside, Seaton on the outside. They get the green light. Lowndes is going to try and split them, but they move over, close the door, and Seaton's got a great run down the outside. They'll go side by side into the first turn down toward Coca-Cola Corner. It's going to be pretty tight stuff under brakes. Very tidy here. Seaton still trying to muscle his way through on the outside. Can't do it. He's on the outside of the 2 HRT cars. Lowndes tries to bulldoze behind Brock, but can't do it. Seaton now pushes back into the middle. So it's Holden, Ford, Holden as they swing through Shell Corner for the first time.
Oh, what a fantastic start too. The best start we've seen all season. Every car got away cleanly and they're all through the first 2 or 3 corners.
Big field of V8s sorting themselves out as they come over Dunlop Bridge for the first of 17 laps. Wayne Gardner in the Coca-Cola Commodore, fastest man in the warm-up this morning. There he is back in 4th position after that great win at Mallala. Coke team really pumped up back on their home track today. Brock leads them down first time. Seaton in 2nd position. Peter Brock been very, very fast all year, but just hasn't had the results. Maybe this could be the day his fortunes turn around.
And it certainly is. Lowndes got a fantastic start from the 2nd row, but he just couldn't get between the 2 front cars. And interesting race. Craig's certainly all over the back of Glenn, and as you said, Gardner was the fastest in the warm-up, so I'm sure we're in for a very, very interesting day today.
Top 5 cars under the lap record in qualifying. Top 9, in fact, covered by less than 1 second. Very, very close in qualifying. Interesting to see how this endurance works out during a race. We take race cam from the back of Glenn Seaton's Ford Credit Falcon with Craig Lowndes breathing right down his neck. They brake hard, Shell Corner for the 2nd time. Brock in command. Big opportunity here for Seaton to get some runs up on the board for Ford for the end of the 96 tussle.
Well, it's been a little while since someone's got between these 2 cars, so Glenn will be trying as hard as he can, a bit of a touch of the brake there to hang on to Brock, but Brock's car just seems to dance away from him through this particular section of the track. And a great job by Wayne Gardner to be hanging on at this point in time.
7's race cam again at the back of Glenn Seaton's car. Lowndes right on his hammer. Wayne Gardner in behind him. Then the 2 Shell cars, John Bower, Dick Johnson. Mark Scaife then coming up in 7th spot.
Oh, John Trimble in trouble. Winner of the Auto Action Privateers Cup earlier on today. We take race cam aboard Dick Johnson's Shell. Number 17 Falcon as he ducks down the outside of Scaife. It'll be side by side as they come into Cape, but Scaife's got a much better line. Moves in front of Johnson as they go hard under brakes. Very close stuff, and look at this. Down the inside, Alan Jones muscling Dick Johnson. We take race cam again. Back of the pack, the Ford Credit Racing Falcon. And look, Craig Lowndes closing in. He's in the draft, ducks out for a run down the inside. He might have got him this time. Not quite, but he's up the inside. Positioned himself perfectly so Seaton couldn't counter-attack.
Wow, that's a very fast part of the circuit, and to get by there cleanly is quite a move.
It's pretty brave stuff. They're going through that kick at speeds in excess of 160 kilometres an hour. There's not a lot of room for error. And you can see Craig Lowndes' aggressive push through on the inside, very clean.
Well, Craig's got the championship wrapped up now, and you know, the gloves are really off. He'll be off to beat Brock, and he's certainly putting a bit of distance between himself. All the car's a bit of a head shake there. Putting some distance between himself and Glenn Seaton at the moment. He's pedaling that car very hard.
We take race cam. Alan Jones attacking Dick Johnson's Shell number 17 Ford. Look at Johnson coming back in the horsepower race down the main straight. But Jones once again well positioned on the inside of that corner. Move over and cover his territory effectively. Johnson goes back in position. Look at Stephen Richards now. He's coming up for his taste of the action. He's got Paul Romano up behind him. And a pack of Castrol cars. A great battle this.
Oh, round the outside. Fairly brave move.
Richards, the only privateer, in fact, running Bridgestone tyres. It looks like there's a little bit of smoke.
They could have rubbed there.
Puffing from the right rear tyre of the Valvoline Commodore. Not there now, but just looked like as he turned through that corner. May have been a little bit of body contact. We'll monitor that.
We'll know when he goes around a left-hander and see how much smoke comes off that side of the car then when it's loaded up.
Coming up at the mid-race distance, this is the battle for 7, 8, 9 and 10, and parked in behind the, well, not parked, but in behind these guys, we've got all three of the Castrol cars, Ingle, Perkins, Longhurst.
Yep, he certainly scraped that tyre up. We can see the smoke coming off there now. I don't think it's anything to worry about, just a pretty gentle rub, but the tyre is going so fast in the wheel well, it certainly looks like it's quite a problem, but I think he'll be okay. There's not that many left-handers on this circuit.
It should be interesting to watch the progress of this car at Mount Panorama in about 3 months' time. Jim Richards, Stephen's father, will be joining him for that race. Should be quite interesting to watch their progress. Here's our race leader, Peter Brock. 9 laps completed in 0.5. Lowndes comes up behind him. Looks like the old HRT story once again. Glenn Seaton hanging on in 3rd position. Wayne Gardner in 4th. And John Bowe in 5th position. And Paul Romano coming under attack from Larry Perkins round the outside as they come onto the main straight. Perkins has to pull away a fraction. As Romano, you can see some battle damage on the front left corner of the pack leader Ford. Perkins doesn't relent, gets in behind him. He's got Tony Longhurst breathing down his neck.
And while all that was happening, Stephen Richards has got past Dick Johnson as well, so there's plenty of moves happening here.
Plenty of cut and thrust in the field as we take race cam out of the front spoiler of the Castrol Commodore. You couldn't be any closer than that, Larry. Oh, a couple of taps there.
Well, Larry definitely means business here. And he's got Longhurst down the inside.
Side by side through Shell corner. He continues to attack the back of the pack leader Falcon as we take 7 Sport race cam once again. Swinging up toward the bridge, a little bit of oversteer there as Romano tries to get the power to the ground. Feeling the heat of the Castrol Commodore as they swing under here. Down toward Foster's dip once again. Building up to 140 kilometres an hour as they fling these 1.3-tonne V8 monsters through. Look how much road Romano's using there as he wrestles this car around this very demanding circuit. Out of Momo corner, building up to 160 kilometres an hour as they come over the dogleg.
Neil Crompton has come from last position on the grid and has done a fantastic job to get on the tail of this group.
It's a good fight back, isn't it? He's just had a chance to scrub his tyres in the warm-up this morning because he didn't in fact get to do any qualifying yesterday, so he's been a rush to get back to this position, and he's done a great job fighting back from the back of the grid. Big field of V8s, 28 in all.
Race leader Peter Brock still, but now under major challenge from his younger teammate Craig Lowndes, the championship winner for 1996, and out to prove that it's not all over till it's over.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting to see how the CAM's Performance Review Committee look at this push from Ford to get some adjustments to parity. Holden have won 8 of the 9 rounds so far, and very much looking like they're going to make it 9 out of 10. So far, 6 to HRT and 2 to the Castrol Holdens. And Ford have been in similar situations before and had changes made before Bathurst. It'll be interesting to see if the axe comes down on Holden for the first time.
These two must be dicing a little bit, because on the last lap time they've dropped 3/4 of a second a lap, so they're pushing at one another, and Brock's probably having to drive a little bit defensively to slow the times down a bit.
Glenn Seaton still in third spot, but he's under threat now from Wayne Gardner in the number 4 Coca-Cola Commodore.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Wilco Seaton has been lapping slower than Gardner the last few circuits. He just put a 1:10.34 last time around. Gardner at 9.85, so he really is closing the gap. It's a visual gap now as he hones in on the back of the Ford Credit Falcon. Very tight battle here for third and fourth. I think we've only got 2 laps remaining when they cross the start-finish line this time around. So an absolute crushing demonstration of what we've seen all year from Holden Racing Team operating in another class. And the other guys are going to catch these cars at Bathurst. They've got a lot of work to do. I remember someone telling me before, there's no way in this modern form of 5-litre racing you could have a car or team winning by 3 or 4 laps like the old days. Well, by the speed these guys are showing, it's entirely possible.
Well, I don't know that they'd win by 3 or 4 laps, but I think they'd certainly, back the pace down and cruise quite comfortably around to win the race. But it's a very dominant performance, and the car's unbelievably quick.
Race cam from Dick Johnson's number 17 Shell FAI Falcon, and that's Russell Ingall climbing all over the back of him, in fact sliding up on the inside.
Well, is he ever? Russell's slowly running out of laps here, and he's certainly not giving Dick too much room to move.
The lap time's almost identical last time around. Ingall sneaks up the inside. Johnson's struggling a bit here as he lets Ingall through. So Russell moves up to 10th position.
Just 1 lap remaining now for the Holden Racing team. Peter Brock is in front, Craig Lowndes running second, and it looks for all the world that's the way they're going to finish, because they've got a big gap still on Glenn Seaton and Wayne Gardner. And this is just heat 1, but it just again demonstrates the superiority that the Holden Racing team have shown all season.
Incredible dominance by Lowndes when you look at his record this year. 16 race wins, 6 round wins, 3 pole positions. That's a race winning ratio of 60%, which for a rookie is extraordinary.
Not just for a rookie, for anybody.
And I think if you put down starts 1, the figure would be even worse. I mean, or better, whichever way you look at it. But fantastic job, and off to Europe next year, and interesting to see how he goes over there.
Take nothing away, though, from Peter Brock here in this particular race today, because you can bet your life Craig Lowndes is trying like the devil to win it, but Brock is driving like the devil, and he is going to take the checkered flag. Round 10, heat 1 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship for 96. Brock takes the checkered flag. Lowndes in second place. Seaton does cross in third, followed by Wayne Gardner.
Let's check out how they finished in heat 1. Peter Brock, of course, Craig Lowndes, the old Holden Racing team, 1-2. Glenn Seaton in third, Wayne Gardner in fourth, and John Bowe in 5th position.
6th place went to Mark Scaife, then Alan Jones in 7th. Stephen Richards, a good performance to finish 8th. Russell Ingall 9th, and for the top 10,